Well, hello again. Welcome to a stormy edition of Andy Outdoors. We have a thunderstorm upon us and I've decided to go cycling with all my camping stuff for an overnighter. Not going too far, just want to test the bike really to see what it's capable of hauling up hills. I've got a fair bit of weight on the back end. I've got my panniers fully laden. I've got the Van Gogh Banshee tent. With the rain, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do a lot of filming of the actual ride itself, but I'll do my best. I'm just going to go down this road now and I'll give you a shot of what the weather's actually looking like at the moment. You can probably hear the thunder in the background. Well, as you can see folks, it's very misty, very thundery. A little bit of sunlight just wisping the top of the clouds over there, but for the main part it's quite grey. Listen to that thunder. I must be crazy doing this for you guys. Oh, I know, let's go for a ride in a thunderstorm, he says. Let's go camping in a thunderstorm, he says. I don't know why I think of these things. A little bit overgrown, but didn't know this water source was here. I wonder how my e-bike could go down something like that. That's the A55 folks, the gateway to North Wales. It's very busy. Right, well I've arrived at my destination, and although Google Earth and Google Maps are very good for finding places to go, they're not so good at telling you that there's gates that are locked. It's locked on the other side, there's a padlock on the other side. It's marked as a picnic area. It's marked as a picnic area on the maps. So I don't know how long ago that was, but it looks pretty overgrown to me. Anyway, the sun's trying to make an appearance again. At least the thunderstorm's over and past us. So there's only one thing to do, guys. I've got to go back the way I came and go to some woodland that I know. It is coping, the bike is coping very well with all that extra weight on the back of it. Might as well show you now I've stopped. Yeah, I've turned all that off. So I've got the ham radio for a bit of company. I've just been listening to the radio, normal radio on that.
Channel mode.
Sounds like the Muppets. Anyway, it is the Muppets. Anyway. So I've got the cycling computer now. I am going to replace this. I did breathe some life back into it, but when you're going along and it's telling you the miles per hour, it refreshes itself about every 5 seconds, so I want one a bit quicker than that. On the back we've got obviously the tripod that I have to take on and off. I've got the light on this, it was a bit misty before, so I'll turn that off now. There we go. In there is the inflatable sleeping mat. I've got the tent in one side, sleeping bag in the other, all the poles and pegs and everything. And everything else that I need is in my little haversack on my back. So it's coping well with the weight. I reckon I've probably got about 15-20 kilos. I thought it'd go through the battery a lot faster than what it is doing, but it appears to be doing okay. So right, let's try another spot. Well, back on the country lanes. Just in case you're wondering about the bike, decided to come and do a bit of off-roading. Motor's still going for it. Bit hard doing it one-handed. But yeah, she's taking it still. Right, after all that, 3/4 of an hour cycling, probably a little bit more actually, maybe an hour and a half, not quite sure. Still got 3 bars remaining power wise. I'll turn that off now. Yeah, so I've come to my local, some woods that I know of that are local. I'm going to have a look for a suitable spot to camp, get my tent up, and then I might go for a play in the woods on my mountain bike. Well, that's what other people do, isn't it? Right, without further ado, let's get the panniers unpacked and the tent up. So in this one should be the tent. That's the tent. Pegs, poles. And next up is the sleeping bag. That's all that was in that pannier. Okay then, the tent's up, and we'll just go and take a peek inside. So in the vestibule area down here, we've got the 2 pannier bags off the side of the bike. Got my cooking equipment here, so pots and pans, stove and gas. Got my sleeping bag in, just a cheap old one that I got from Oxford. It always features in my videos. This one smells very nice. It's just been washed. I've got my pantry down here. Pot noodle, obviously, bit of an all-day breakfast, some other bits and pieces. Never tried one of these before. John West Infusions tuna. What's it with? Lemon and thyme. Obviously the obligatory cutlery. Jacket down there and a dry bag. Over in that pocket we've got the ham radio, the Mozzie spray. I've got comms equipment there. In that one I've got the RAV power and some spare batteries for the Petzl head torch, which is up in the roof. And that's pretty much it. I've just stuck my other bag down there. So it is, we have a spitter, a spatter of rain again. But I do intend to go and have a play in the woods, because that's what this video is all about. It's all about the bike, testing it, see what it can do and can't do, although it's not got any load on it now. One thing I will be doing is probably getting a better pannier rack for it, because that one just, well, I'll show you. It just goes onto the seat post on a quick release, and because it had so much weight, it did tend to move around from side to side quite a lot. Well, a couple of occasions it did it, and I could hear this scraping on the tyre. But down here you have the Allen key things, and the hole is there for a normal pannier rack. It won't be as high as this, I don't think, but they come up to about there, I think, and then go along. So I'm gonna look into getting one of them. And obviously as well, another little problem that I had, decided to put this on last night, didn't really check it out to make sure it was okay, but I'm going to take that off in a minute and bin it, because it is no good. There's the mount, consider it binned. So I think the bike's going to be okay there for a minute or two without being locked up. You can usually hear anybody coming towards you in these woods, they're that quiet. And also the birds will alarm. If there's any blackbirds in here, they'll alarm and make me aware of that there's people here or a person. But I think it'll be alright there. Because it's just a spitter, a spatter, I'm going to climb in the tent and maybe listen to a bit of the radio. Not quite brew time or anything yet, but just have a bit of 5 or 10 minutes, just listen to the rain. Okay, so a couple of essentials that I brought out with me today. One is this, which is one of them kind of buff kind of things. Obviously I got mine from Shell Island because it says it all over it. Mainly keeping bugs out your mouth when you're whizzing along the country lanes. Two pairs of glasses I brought today, cheap El Cheapo Poundland ones. I don't know how many pairs of these I've gone through, but usually the glass falls out of one side, or they break there. For £1, what do you expect? I know. So I bought them ones because it was sunny before, believe it or not. And I've got my DeWalt safety glasses, which these have seen better days, so I need to get some new ones. A little bit scratched, but also keeps the bugs out your eyes. Other essentials for the bike that I've brought today, especially, I didn't forget this. Not quite sure the length, but it is quite a sizable lock. I bought it to go around trees. I bought it exactly for this reason. Some people like to use them U-locks with a like a bar along the bottom. I need to get a better lock. That's an El Cheapo lock, but I will get a stronger lock for it. And so yeah, so trees, fence posts, gate posts, lamp posts even, if you're doing a bit of roadside camping. So that's essential bit of kit. Can't even speak. Right, yeah. So today's episode adventure, call it what you will. Like I said, I did look on Google Earth and cross-reference with Google Maps. Said, yeah, there's a picnic area there. Showed a little bit of ground around the back of it. And as you saw in the video, all gated up, bolted up, locked up, no one's allowed in, blah, blah. Well, I didn't actually say no one's allowed in. But yeah, don't know what's happened there. Obviously, the maps haven't updated themselves, or they just, I don't know what happened. But it was unusable anyway. So in future, lesson learnt, lesson number 1, go and do a recce first of potential camping spots before you actually go and try and use them for real, because I actually went down that road on the first test that I did with the e-bike, and it's only after I thought, I didn't actually see that there was a turning there. It's only after I thought, oh, I wonder if there's anything around there that I can use, kind of thing. So I did my research on Google Earth and Google Maps, and it was, for all apparent reasons, looked like the ideal spot, but lo and behold, in real life it wasn't. So yeah, there's going to be a few recon trips coming up with the bike, no tenting equipment at all. The bike was a little bit heavy. The motor did most of the work. I can't fault the bike for that. There was one section where it was literally like that, only for a couple of minutes, and I had to use good old muscles to help the motor a little bit. Can't expect too much from the motor, you know what I mean? It's not a moped at the end of the day. It's still a push bike. Yeah, so I'm going to do a few recon trips. So, like I said, I'm in some woodlands that I know very well. These woods, I've used them before. Many videos have been done in these woods. So still a pitter patter of rain, not too bad. It's not that I'm scared of rain. It's the camera. Don't like getting the camera wet, especially if you look back to I think it was the Survival SOS video that I did. This camera that I'm using actually ended up in water, fully submerged, and it's not supposed to be fully submerged. It's a Canon bridge camera that I'm using. I'll tell you the make. It's the SX 410 IS. It was a present that Gina bought me probably 2 years ago now. I think she got it me. So I had plenty of use anyway. So birthday coming up soon. So I have asked for an action camera that is waterproof. So we'll have to see what develops. Not really doing anything for my birthday. Big old 4-3 this time. I think it's going to be a few drinks and a few games of darts with some friendly chaps and chapesses. Nothing too special. As you get older, you tend not to bother with birthdays. I've never really bothered with birthdays anyway, to be honest with you. Anyway, so that's me waffling on too much. So I'll give you guys a break. Well, what a fantastic bike. I can't fault it, it's just done all that. I punished it. Half of it was off camera, but I did punish it. Still 3 bars remaining on medium power. It is a workhorse. If you haven't got one, get one. They're bloody great. Whew.
Look at those mist rolling in.
Well, just one last one. Moment of truth. Let's see if she comes back to life. Oh yes. Fantastic. Right guys, see you all.